Ilhan Omar is an American Muslim congresswoman, a Somali refugee who worked her way up to US Congress. A vehement opposer of Islamophobia who isn't afraid to call out Israel for its corrupt influence on USA foreign policy. Omar recently gave an inspiring speech at a Muslim civil rights fundraising event. She spoke about her story as a Somali immigrant, her commitment to American values, and tackling Islamophobia.
We finally have a leader, a world leader in the White House who publicly says Islam hates us, who fuels hate against Muslims, who think it is okay to speak about a faith and a whole community in a way that is dehumanizing, vilifying, and doesn't understand, or at least makes us want to think that he doesn't understand the consequences that his words might have. But what we know and what Islam teaches us, and what I always say, is that love trumps hate.
Now, the Republican Party is trying to smear Omar by accusing her of trivializing the 9/11 attacks in her speech. This is despite Omar being a co-sponsor of the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund. On the day of the event, around 1,000 protesters stood outside waving Israeli and American flags, chanting racist slurs. She has been attacked not only by President Trump, but by the Zionist lobby for speaking out against Israel. Trump tweeted snippets of her speech and footage of the hijacked planes hitting the Twin Towers. Since Trump's inflammatory and hateful tweet, Omar stated she's faced an increase in death threats. Trump has never been shy of igniting hatred against Muslims, nor has he any moral ground for talking about 9/11.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us. There's something there that there's a tremendous hatred there. There's a tremendous hatred. We have to get to the bottom of it. There is an unbelievable hatred of us.
In Islam itself?
You're going to have to figure that out.
On 9/11, he stated seeing Muslims rejoice in the streets. This proved to be an unfounded accusation. In fact, on 9/11, Trump himself bragged about how his building was now the tallest one in Lower Manhattan.
Republicans are claiming that Ilhan Omar trivialized 9/11 and spread anti-Semitic dual loyalty tropes, neither of which she actually did. But you know who did trivialize 9/11, Joy? Donald Trump, when he went on TV on 9/11 to brag about the fact that his building was now the tallest building in Lower Manhattan. You know who did spread dual loyalty tropes, Joy? Donald Trump, when he said to an audience of US Jews at the White House that Israel is your country, and when he said last weekend to a group of US Jews that Benjamin Netanyahu is your prime minister.
You have one of the landmark buildings down in the financial district, 40 Wall Street. Did you have any damage, or did you know what's happened down there?
Well, it was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest.
And not to mention how he generously used the events of 9/11 for his own political gain in the presidential elections. Despite this, Trump and his far-right cronies were not attacked like Ilhan Omar, nor held accountable. Omar didn't trivialize 9/11, nor did she spread anti-Semitic tropes, yet she's been accused and attacked for both. Omar's supporters say that she presents a threat to the far-right rhetoric. She dares to speak out and not remain silent.
Why Ilhan keeps getting targeted is because she is an unapologetic Black Muslim woman, and her real crime in the eyes of those attacking her is that she dares to speak out and to act like she's equal. She doesn't know her place in their eyes. And so she represents something that is threatening to them, not because she doesn't condemn terrorism or thinks that 9/11 wasn't horrific and tragic, but because she is the face of the future.
Omar refuses to back down to Trump's racism, and so must we. The dangerous attacks against Omar must end. Omar speaks for the voiceless. She fights racism and Islamophobia. It is vital we stand with her.